You think a little kid might go, "Oh, look, it's that guy from Game of Thrones." Oh, crap. Oh, no, you didn't see me. This doesn't count. This doesn't count.
Boom, boom, boom,
Only
boom.
adults.
Oh, now we're okay.
Now we're fine. Hey, Internet. It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are here talking about The Mandalorian. Season 1, Episode 4. Sanctuary. All right, summing this one up.
Go and sum it.
We've just come off of Episode 3 where there was a big fight between Mandalorians and the Guild.
Yeah.
Our Mandalorian escapes ship. He decides to seek refuge in a distant planet.
Yes.
Sorgan is the name of the planet. He and little baby Yoda take off, go to the planet. While there, he gets asked by a group of villagers to come and save the village.
Yes.
He brings along a person he met on this planet who's also kind of seeking refuge, Cara Dune.
Yes.
And together they pull off like a magnificent coup.
Yes.
Train the villagers with sticks, but then are also like, we'll do it. And then they save the villagers against marauders who also have an AT-ST. And then there's kind of this little moment of like, oh, you could stay. Little Yoda would be good here. It's good for, it's a little better, well-adjusted environment for a little kid.
Sure, of course.
And if you, Mandalorian, want to stay, you could.
Yeah.
He maybe thinks about it. Not really thinks about it, but
really,
kind of thinks. Anyway, but while he's thinking about it, it becomes apparently abundantly clear that it's a bad idea because Bounty Hunter shows up.
Boom.
He's going to take out Baby Yoda.
He's going to take him out.
Cara Dune takes out the Bounty Hunter instead. So, Mandalorian realizes, this place isn't safe. Come on, little Baby Yoda.
Yep.
I'll leave. And we don't see him leave the planet.
No, we don't.
But he's like on a cart leaving this village as we cut out. So theoretically, by episode 5, he could still be on the planet.
Yeah,
but that's, in a nutshell,
that's the nut.
Our recap.
Yep.
All right. What are some important things we learned from this episode, sir?
Well, in my head is what we were kind of what we were discussing before we began, which is how effective these fobs are.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't. I think it's probably it would really make him seem stupid, and it would be too ridiculous. I think it wouldn't make any sense at all. In fact, if the fobs work long distance.
Why so? I feel like they do work long distance. So
right, but that's why I think they heard that he's on this planet, and once they're on the planet, then okay, now the fob is working.
So in other words, a person would have to go to the planet first, then activate the fob. The only thing is, maybe you're right. I felt like my memory tells me that there was a moment when he turned the fob on back in like episode 1 when he was getting jobs, and maybe even got the Baby Yoda job. And I felt like he turned the thing on.
I mean,
maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
If you know out there whether the fob works,
even if you were like far away, it wouldn't matter if you're like, because as soon as it noticed anything, you'd want it to go on. So you wouldn't be like, okay, I hope it's around me now. You'd turn it on and then go there and see what it told you as you went, I would think.
I got you. Yeah, it's a good point because with the Baby Yoda thing, when Werner Herzog, the client, is hiring the Mandalorian, he says something like, "Oh, we know where the baby." We can't give you a lot of details.
One thing he wants is the puck, and we don't have a puck for him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if the puck has the same capabilities or maybe more.
Oh, because it has a little hologram.
Yeah, hologram or whatever. So maybe it's like, this is what he looks like.
And
but he doesn't have a puck for the
Baby
right,
Yoda.
Probably, yeah.
But he did have a fob.
Right, he had a fob.
And so if he gave him the fob, he probably wouldn't need to tell him, oh, and by the way, here's the general planet where he is, because the fob would tell you.
Maybe.
So maybe, I'm adding credence to your theory.
I guess,
you have to kind of use your own reconnaissance first, get close, then use a fob.
Right.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because otherwise, it is stupid.
Yeah.
Where he's like, you know what, Baby Yoda, be better off here. It's safe away from every. Oh, wait. You mean every bounty hunter's looking for him, and all the fobs will lead him here? I mean, that's So yeah, in some ways, the only way the story makes sense is your idea that they have to find the planet first, then fob it.
And the more I think about the fob, it's like there's no way to like put him in a cage or something that would nullify the effects of the
I'm
fob.
guessing it tracks DNA, maybe,
So
or like
just
an
like
individual signal. 'Cause
spraying
it's not like
your
they have a chip
DNA
in the
into
kid's
the
head, I
air.
don't think.
Yeah, no,
Anything like
who
that.
knows?
So
Right, who knows? Because apparently, it's a common thing as a fob.
Yeah.
So we don't know enough
Fob
about
technology
that.
that we've been talking about pretty much every recap we've done.
Yes.
Is we now know what Mandalorians when they take off the
Oh
helmets.
yes.
All right, they clarified it.
Yeah,
we were dumbfounded at this idea that they
what?
never
Who?
take it. He said specifically, he was asked by his mentor,
Yes.
"Have you ever had your helmet removed?" Never.
Yeah, not by yourself or anybody
else. Never. Okay, well, with the following exceptions: eating, sleeping, bathing, reading, doing my taxes. Anyway, as long as he's not seen by others, if he's in private, he can have the helmet off.
Yeah. And the thing that made me wonder about is, at what point do these children get the helmet? I mean, apparently, not soon after he joined them, he got a helmet.
He was like a kid still.
Do they like have baby helmets?
They have to,
and
right? You graduate to the adult helmet.
I wonder. And then, do they have like hand-me-down helmets?
And do you have a ceremony? You can't even have a ceremony because you'd be seen. So you have to like just put this on in private.
Yeah.
That's fine. Hopefully this fits. Can I have a fitter? No.
It's like, this is my older brother's helmet. It's got his gum in it. I don't want. Sorry, that's all we can afford. Is
so there's still some questions, but one of the big answers is okay. He can do basic life, activities.
Yes.
Yes.
That involve his head and his face. Yes.
Although interestingly, we see him from the back. We see him remove the helmet in this episode to watch the kids playing, and he's pretty casual about it.
And watch the kids playing.
And you're like, there's a window. He can see the kids. They're not far away.
Yeah.
And
it's not like it's some sort of like modern
one-way mirror.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Some sort of.
You think a little kid might go, "Oh, look, it's that guy from Game of Thrones." Oh, crap. Oh, no, you didn't see me. This doesn't count. Only adults.
Oh, now we're okay.
Now we're fine. Yeah, so that's the code. We also learned that I think there's an implication that he's not actually from Mandalore. He says that they took him in after his parents were killed off. And then he was raised in this order. I think what we're going to see is this. From last episode, we've seen some flashbacks to the moment when his parents died.
Right.
And he, as a kid, is put into this little hiding place. And the last thing we see is the hiding place being revealed by a droid. It sounds like the droid maybe that just killed his parents, in fact.
Could be.
And then
Damn
it cuts
droids.
off. So, right, he hates droids. But from all appearances, he's a human target. There's a droid right there.
Yep.
Unless he is saved, he's going to die in that moment.
Right.
So my guess is he's going to get saved by a Mandalorian. I think you're going to see some helmeted version of a Mandalorian kill the droid, pick him up, and then take him to the Mandalorian school of always wear a helmet.
Sure.
Which is why he's in the group, but also why he feels this affinity for Baby Yoda as well.
Maybe so.
He's rescued Baby Yoda.
He identifies with this baby. Yes. One thing that I'm curious about is this. Not being a Star Wars expert.
Sure.
But they're refugees, so their original planet they don't have access to. They're like running around as a group, right?
Right.
So when did that occur?
Right. There's this thing they mentioned on the show, the Purge.
Yeah. When did the Purge occur? Because I wonder if it occurred pre, episode 4.
If you know out there when the Purge happened chronologically, let us know. That would be appreciated.
Yes.
We do not know in this episode. We know from the last episode. We know that the Mandalorians who were in hiding have to go find a new hiding place because they revealed themselves in order to help our hero. So I assume that will be part of some episode. Will be like, here's our new enclave.
I would assume, because and I guess he's not unless he has other bounty.
Yeah, he doesn't have a guild anymore.
Yeah.
When he sees Cara Dune at first in a bar, he suspects that she might be someone who is, I think, maybe after him, perhaps, or like a bounty hunter or somebody who might have ill intentions toward he and little baby Yoda.
Yes.
He follows her, uses his tech. We see more tech. He's got like predator vision. You can see the little infrared footsteps.
Yes.
They get into a fight. Hand to hand. She does pretty well against him. In fact.
Yes.
He tries to do the Bernie burn again.
Yeah.
I guess that would be a very effective
Oh,
hand-to-hand
I'm sure.
weapon.
I'm sure.
Just, you probably stop fighting at that point.
Yeah.
We find out that she was a former Rebel Alliance shock trooper. She described herself as after the Battle of Endor, she would get sent in silently and get dropped off and take out Imperial warlords, like people who used to work for the Empire who are now trying to set up their own little areas. Over time, that mission, her assassinate people missions, started changing to more peacekeeping missions. And she said, I took an early retirement. So I think she went AWOL, and now she feels like she's probably being hunted or that there might be a bounty on her as a result. Hence she's there. She's like, hey, there's only room for one person with a bounty on their heads on this planet. Whole giant planet. But so be it. So you scoot along.
You want to take the South Pole? I'll take the North Pole.
No.
All poles.
This bar is where everyone has to be, including us. So he agrees. He's like, you're right. You were here first.
Yeah.
I'll mosey.
Yep.
He's going to leave.
Maybe that's part of the code.
When these two people from the village come and like, oh, you're a Mandalorian. Yeah, she calls dibs, essentially. Planet dibs. These two folks come along, and they're like, oh, you're a Mandalorian. We've heard tales. So we have some small amount of money, plus save our town.
Yeah.
He's not interested until he realizes the town is really remote.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Oh, well, all right then.
It's not New York? What?
He takes Cara Dune. They go to try to save this town. We have the montage, the Magnificent Seven montage.
Yes.
Train.
Yes.
There's the woman who's kind of the matriarch of the town. She's really a good shot.
Yep,
Might have a backstory there.
I would hope. Although IMDb doesn't have more than one episode.
Okay. She seems to be very interested in our Mandalorian, even though she just met him.
Yes.
He's just in a helmet. Yeah. I guess it's like, hey, I have a little kid that I'm not, I have a little baby Yoda I'm trying to hide. Oh, he must be awesome.
Yeah. It would, if there were more of the Yoda, maybe they'd be used a lot by, people trying to get chicks,
Okay, so, like going to the dog park with your little baby Yoda.
That's right.
Oh, cool. Yeah. She attempts at one point to take his helmet off. He's like, no thanks. Once it's off, I can't ever put the helmet back on.
Right.
I'm no longer a Mandalorian at that point.
Yeah.
So there'll be some moment where I make a choice, and in that moment, then I would no longer be. Yes. I would be rejecting my code.
All right. This changes your feeling about whether or not we will see his face by the end of the season.
I know that is.
I think one thing I was telling you is that it gave me the idea that perhaps he feels like it's he's that will be a danger to the Yoda thing if he's walking around like, oh, look, there's another.
Yeah, he is a target and a half. It's like, oh, the guy in the giant Mandalorian armor, look for him.
And you'd think they try to find a way to some stupid cage or something for this, something like a suit.
A fob-proof.
Yes.
A fob-proof holder, bassinet.
Yeah.
A little 11 to put the little.
Or a little invisibility cloak.
Sure. And they haven't done that.
No, they haven't.
So you're suggesting that perhaps he might take the armor off as a disguise because no one would actually have ever seen him. So they'd be like, oh, it's just Pedro.
He might.
Walking around.
He might if he feels like, okay, I'm gonna have to not be a Mandalorian in order to accomplish this thing.
My inclination on that is he wouldn't do that just because it would be so against his code.
Okay.
He'd try anything else first.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it's an option. If I knew that this was the only season, I'd be very sure that he was going to be out of his armor in the last few episodes here. But the fact that there's I assume there's going to be a season 2, probably a season 3.
Who knows?
It might be more of a series arc as opposed to a season arc.
Sure.
Because once it's off, then it's like, oh, okay. I think my odds of him being revealed went down a little bit after seeing how important this. Oh, I can no longer be a Mandalorian if I do this.
Yeah.
But that said,
That's lame.
If he gets captured,
Yeah.
if I was like a jerk villain,
jerk,
and I captured a Mandalorian, I would know that the one thing that they would
that
want
oxymoron, the jerk villain.
the nice humanitarian villain.
Yeah,
okay, you're right. But if I'm a jerk and I capture the Mandalorian,
yes,
I know that the one thing that guy would least like would be to have his helmet removed. So that's exactly what I would do and or threaten to do.
Right.
And then when he didn't give in, I'd be like, fine, boop. Now deal with that. So I think that's the way it happens.
Interesting.
And then he has to like go, yeah, I was captured and I came off, but I killed them all, so no one was there to see.
Yeah, no one alive.
It's fine.
The baby Yoda didn't see. It averted its eyes.
He mind wiped everyone. So
there you go.
In fact, if you question this, baby Yoda, you get on standby.
Yeah. Put your hand up. Now you can't speak it, but I'll say it. This is not the Mandalorian you've seen.
So Baby Yoda wasn't particularly impactful in this episode.
No.
But I enjoyed. We see Baby Yoda interacting with him on the ship. The bit where he's turning the light on and off.
Yeah.
Like, stop doing the light. Huh? That little bit of like, maybe. Oh, he's like a cat almost.
Yeah.
Like, ah. So, and we see him interacting with the little kids in the village. He actually learns that people think it's gross when you eat an entire frog.
Yes.
And so he's like, he spits it out.
Yeah,
like,
I wonder if I hope he hasn't gone vegetarian. I hope when no one's looking, he continues to eat animals.
He turns a piece of kale into frog shape and then eats it. But so he's learning and interacting, but I think we get the idea that, see, this is a loving and a nurturing environment for one such as Baby Yoda. So the fight itself versus our Marauders is it's interesting. We get the idea that this ATST is like left over from the Imperial days. Either it was on this planet and they just took it, or maybe they bought it from some former Imperial, like an Imperial warlord who's like, I got extra arms, take them. It's very similar, right, to the Ewoks taking on the ATSTs.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're primitive, we have sticks, but if we build a pit.
Yeah, apparently they don't have enough trees around. So
they couldn't do the
Yep, they can't do that.
They couldn't do the pop.
There's no way.
Thing.
There's none. None except this one way.
Well,
only one.
The only way we could possibly do this is if we could find, I don't know, a group of like 20 teddy bears. No? We're screwed.
Yep.
All right, never mind. Yep. I once saw these teddy bears destroy a bunch of ATSTs.
It's like, we got these people.
No. They're not teddy bears? Never mind. Interestingly, it seems like the suggestion is that the Marauders are marauding the town, at least in part, to get the little krill they're krill farmers. And they have these blue, glowy krill. And then when Cara Dune and the Mandalorian go to like piss off the Marauders to make them chase them, they blow up their beer tent, which is it glows blue.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they're using the krill to make their beer. Krill beer.
Local brewers.
Yeah, local brewers. They blew up their microbrewery.
Yep.
And that's going to piss you off. Right?
It is.
It's going to make anybody mad.
It is, yeah. Don't want to blow up a yuppie's microbrewery.
But I also did enjoy the analogy. The very first shot we see is the krill all swimming in the little water.
Sure.
And then they're getting scooped up in these baskets.
Yes.
And so it's like, it's like the hierarchy of predators.
Sure.
So the krill are getting by the villagers, and then the villagers are getting scooped up by the Marauders, who are probably
of life.
Circle of life. and it moves. So we get the idea that perhaps the Marauders are also taking maybe some of the villagers as slaves or something. I don't know. We don't see that necessarily.
I don't think so.
They come and take our krill.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh.
It took us a while to prepare to make these.
Yeah, my grandfather made these krill beds. Okay. But yeah, so they do something. They burn down their houses and stuff,
yes,
and
they're
generally mean to them. It's kind of its own little bottled adventure. Save the day, move on.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, Cara Dune, the character, is going to be in a few other episodes apparently. So maybe he does not leave the planet.
That might be.
We deliberately don't see the ship taken off.
No, we don't.
So it could be that en route to the ship something else happens, or he's going to have to come back and I'm getting a group together. Hey, Nick Nolte. Cara Dune, you guys in? You son of a bitch. Doing the Rick and Morty just did a parody of heist type movies and stuff with the handshake. Yeah. So that might be a moment.
That might be a moment
later.
Yeah, we'll see. We shall see what happens.
Indeed. Anything further, sir?
No.
All right, I think that's it.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you got any theories on how this is going to resolve itself, let us know. Otherwise, we'll be back talking about The Watchmen. Just a gonzo bizarre episode last night. And also Mr. Robot. So thanks, everybody.